They had cows and horses and on 42 acres, and it was quite a nice little farm. But I was lonely. I didn't like it.
Right.
I didn't like it. You know, I wanted people around. And I did have one neighbor boy that came, and we had a funny experience. I was a tall girl. I would go up and climb trees with him, and we'd go up the apple trees and up and down and everything. In those days, I didn't wear slacks. We wore homemade dresses and underpants.
Right.
And underpants would be these big cotton underpants. And socks and shoes. That's how we dressed to go out to play. And I went up this tree, and I was climbing up the tree, and we were climbing down, and he jumped down first. And there was a limb sticking out of the tree like this. And he gets on this limb, and then he just jumps down to the ground. So I'm following, and I go to jump down to the ground. Well, as I go to jump down on the ground, there's a great big thing on the tree sticking up like that, and the tail end of my dress got caught on that thing. And here I am, hanging over, my hands and my arse ends up in the air there, on that limb. Can you believe it? Well, he laughed, and he laughed, and I got
I wish I had the camera there.
Yeah, that was funny. But I was so angry at him because he laughed and laughed, and I was so vulnerable. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. But I was well covered because that's how you dressed in those days. You were real well covered, you know. And so finally he laughed himself sick, and then he went down and got my mother. She brought a step ladder up, and she had to get the step ladder under my dangling legs to get them on to get off it. But I thought that was funny. It had to be there.
Yeah, that sounds funny. So tell me about my mother as a child. What was...
Well, we had our children bang, 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 you know,
Right.
7 and 8 years. So fortunately, God blessed me with tremendous energy. I was able to have those kids get out of bed 2 weeks later. I always took 2 weeks off when I had a baby. Never dressed, only in my my pajamas and house coat for 2 weeks. And after the 2 weeks, my weight was back to normal, and I was back to normal. I had heart then.
Right.
And then took over the family. With Terry, she was beautiful, baby. When she was born, she was beautiful. She had this coal black hair, and it had enough of hair and curly, and they had a little curl right across the middle of her head. There wasn't much hair down here, but they put it all together and made this darling little curl and put a little ribbon on it, and they brought her into me after she was born. And she was just a beautiful baby with a big round face, and then Carol came along the next year. Well, now Terry was a little bit jealous. She was 13 months different. Well, she had been used to having all my attention,
Right.
and I would be holding Carol, and Terry would be in the playpen. Well, she wanted there. She wanted to be held, that kind of thing, you know. And when they were so close together, I tried to treat them the same. I didn't try to make Terry grow up fast because she was the oldest little girl, you know. Didn't make her grow up to, now you do this, how you go fetch this, you do that. I didn't do that. I kind of treated them all evil, not evil, all equally, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was like finding her.
and when she was 5 years old, I had John, I think it was, and I was having a problem, and my mother had come in to stay with me, and I was in bed, but I would go up. I let her out to have some fresh air with play with the boy next door, and I kept running to the window every so often to see where she was, and she was always with him. So one time, the last time we went to look at, she wasn't there. I called the neighbor, and I said, "Did you see Terry?" I said, "I don't see her out playing." And she said, "Oh, I brought Larry in, half an hour ago, and I haven't seen her since." Well, we couldn't find Terry, and I got hysterical. Couldn't find Terry. So I called Jack. I think I looked. I don't know whether I took the car out with the neighbor girl myself and looked. I couldn't find her. I come home and I called Jack. And he came up right away from the service station because he had people working for him then, you know. And we went out, and he took a car one way and I went another way. And here she had gone about 2 miles away from home. She had walked, taken off and walked and had gone, well, you wouldn't understand because you don't know where it is, but she went past the cemetery, and that was the most terrible feeling in my life. I was just sure that somebody had gotten that baby in that cemetery, and I was, or 5-year-old, and I was panicked. And so Jack was on his car by himself, and he was going down the road toward Pittsburgh Road. And here he found her. She had followed the paper boy down to the Pittsburgh Road and came back, and was coming back up, trying to find her way back home. And she had a bouquet of flowers for Mommy. Oh, I just felt so bad. You know, when I found her, or when he found her and brought her home, and she had this bouquet of flowers. And we didn't punish her or anything while we were out. We just, we were so happy to see her, and just loved her. So she was scared, she was scared because she had walked away and she was only 5 years old. That was a terrible, terrible experience.
That was something for me to see her walking up that street.
Oh, we got somebody to pick her up by that time. It was terrible. So anyway, we found Terry. Lord, I would have never lived that. I would have lived with that. And she was, oh dear Terry, yeah. She was in this class, and when she was going to school, there were 50 in the classroom. 50 kids, and they could teach them, and she was in the advanced class. They did them homogeneously, I think. The right, next to the right, the average, and the flip kids. They had 4 categories of kids, and they had 1,200 kids in the school. And in order to have like 4 rooms of first grade and that, they had to do homogeneously. So they could have all one type of kid in the room so they could teach them well.
Right.
And they came out beautifully. And so anyway, she was in the top class. And I thought I had prepped her and explained to her about going to school. And here she went to school, and she came home. She's scared to death. She started wetting her pants. She never wet her pants in her life. And she was having a terrible time. And I said, Terry, what's the matter? And she was afraid of the nurse or something. So I called the school, and I said she was having a terrible time, and talked to the principal. And she said, oh, Mrs. Millinger, the nurse is just a lovely woman. She said, I can't understand why she's afraid. And I would drive the car over at noon when they were out at the playground to see how she was reacting in the class. She was being accepted by the kids and all this and that, And so finally she got over that. I think I went down with her, and we walked through it with her. And she came out of there. But it was she had a very traumatic transition from home to school. And I felt very bad about that because I thought we had taken her down and gone through the school before and everything, But then she came out of it, and then she was all right. And when Carol went, she cried a lot when she went to school. But Terry got over it. She was real good in school. But in one class, they were supposed to bring in a Bible. They said, who has a Bible in this class? Oh, Terry raised her hand that we had a Bible. Well, the Bible we had was about this big and about that thick.
Right.
So she wanted to take the Bible to school, and didn't I let her take it? It was a gorgeous Bible. And so she took the Bible, and of course the teacher laughed when she went in toting this big Bible into school, but she wanted to take it in the worst kind of way. And so she took it, and she came back, she was okay, but I know the teacher would be quite amused about this Bible. It was a beautiful Bible. It had beautiful pictures and gold trimming on and stuff. It was really nice. And then another time, have you ever heard Jerry sing?
Yes.
Okay. When she was in first or second grade, she came home from school. And she was all upset, No, I got a straight face on it. And then she was saying, Mommy, she said, I had to sing at school today, and the kids laughed at me. I had to immediately leave and go somewhere out of the room, because I knew the poor little girl could not sing anymore than I could. And I knew how funny it must have been, but I didn't want to laugh at her because it would hurt her feelings. She had been laughed at, and I didn't need to laugh at her again. So I tried to swallow what I was thinking, and she was really upset about that, but I consoled her, and she got through it. It wasn't a lifetime trauma. But anyway, she didn't do that again.
Did you ever see that movie we had made of the kids?
Down memory lane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen that. I was going to say that.
Well, but she was always a beautiful girl, and as she grew up in elementary school, the boys were quite attracted to Terry, and 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.